So, good morning, beautiful ladies. And thank you for being here. Thank you for making this extra session. I'm thrilled that we get to have a bit more time together. So thank you for being here. And let's begin, as always, by settling in. So you can stay on camera or turn your camera off, whichever you prefer. Feel free to move, stretch, yawn, do anything you need to. And whenever you're ready, coming into stillness, either closing the eyes or keeping them slightly opened and downturned. And with each breath, making a conscious choice to put down the busyness of the mind. So anything that's already happened in the day so far, any replays of conversations or how things could have been, any imaginings of the future and all the things that still need to happen and how they may or may not turn out. Choosing to put those down. And you can create an image for that. Perhaps putting them in a box and closing the lid. Burying them in the earth. Or turning them over for a safe pair of hands to hold for you. And from here, becoming more aware of the body. The way the body rises and falls with the breath. Muscles that perhaps hold and then release tension. The connection between the sitting bones and the surface beneath you. Connection between the soles of the feet and the surface beneath you. Becoming aware of the belly. Choosing to keep this space open for courage and intuition. Bringing awareness up into the heart. Choosing to keep this space open for unconditional kindness that radiates inwards as well as outwards. Bringing awareness up into the mind. Choosing to keep this space open for gentle curiosity without judgment. And access to the higher realms. Drawing breath and energy up through the belly, the heart, the mind, and allowing it to flow down the back of the body, back down into the earth. And with these three centers connected, becoming aware of your voice, a small blue light shining at the base of the throat. When gut, heart, and mind are connected, your voice is free to emerge, true, clear, and strong. And from here, making a personal internal commitment for how you will show up for the other women in the group today, and for how you will show up for yourself. There may be a word that comes to mind for this, or it may be more of a feeling. Something in your posture. And from here, when you're ready, we can blink the eyes open. Good morning, ladies. So, I would love us to start today's session with time traveling back. Wind your mind back to 4 months ago. It was the end of November. We all met together for the first time online for the first Game Changers session. I'd love you to spend 2 minutes writing in your coaching notebook, what was real for you back then? What was real for you back then? And who were you being? So 2 minutes to whatever mind was real back then, and who were you being? Okay. And now we're going to time travel forward again to now. And I would love you to consider what's real for you now. Who are you being now? And how is that showing up in your life at the moment? So what's real for you now? Who are you being now? How's that showing up for you in your life? Okay. So let's leave the writing of that for a moment. Who would like to share? What have you noticed through that? Thank you.
I think I was hopeful and excited by the growth opportunity back in November, but I was still battling to get the piece of work done that I accept this piece of work accepted, and I was under a lot of time pressure. And the word battling came up a couple of times in that paragraph actually. So I was a bit anxious, I was under pressure, I felt like I was doing it alone, I was unsupported. I wasn't having much fun. The weather was awful. My mood was low. Yeah, and I said I was just battling through. So that was where I was back in November, really. Um, yeah, I wasn't owning it. The pressure was owning me, really. That was what was going on. Do you want to know where I am now?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
I think I'm more relaxed about that piece of work. I've extended the deadline, so I've got till July, which is good. And I've got more of a growth mindset about it. It's definitely helping me understand the nuances of what's required more and therefore I'm going to be a better counsellor at the end of it. So I think there's a reason this has happened and that's okay. Um, Having said that, I still haven't got the piece of work accepted, but I've got a path now, which I feel better about. Um, I realised that I've been on a yoga retreat to Fuerteventura on my own. I make things happen. I have to remind myself occasionally that I can do that, that I can make things happen. And I do feel supported by you guys, New Sam and Game Changers. It's a wonderful forum to have um, to to be part of to go through the rest of the year. That's really important. And the way I'm showing up as well, I think I'm hoping I'm approaching things with more softness for myself and for other people. Um, um, I'm doing more networking and I just feel more expansive and I'm more connected. And in the last couple of weeks, I've done 3 or 4 different networking events and met some really interesting women, and that gives me a buzz as well. So I think um, I'm aware that I need to be with people. It's um, it's not good for me just to sit on my own and try and battle through on my own. So I've learned that. Yeah. Hmm. That's
Amazing.
what I've got. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, you showed it with your hands as well when you were talking about back in November and you said I wasn't owning it, the pressure was owning me.
Yeah.
And what I hear from you now is that you're really actively opening, going on the retreat, going to networking events, being in this group, that there's this real, I think you said expansiveness, which is
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah. That's definitely um a shift, a big shift. Yeah. From that sort of, holding that weight to then not holding that weight, so not holding it more lightly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what impact is that having?
I think I'm enjoying life more. Um, yeah, I am definitely. When I look at my diary, I've got all sorts of things in there, social things and also things that I've been on other courses. I've been doing quite a lot of listening to podcasts and the growth stuff and um, connecting. So I feel more connected to others and also to myself, I think. I think it has that positive effect. Yeah. Which was what was missing. I think that was, I think I identified that previously that this this career that I've chosen is quite isolating, and that doesn't really suit me.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Mm. Okay. When you say that, what I see is an opening door first. So what comes from that then? The career that I've chosen is quite isolating and that doesn't suit me. If the door opens from that, what might be on the other side?
Something with more connection. I think that's and that's not that I don't feel connection with clients, but it's um, I think with counselling, it's so I've only just thought about this, so restrictive in that you're working with someone where they are and with their past, really, and why they've got to where they are for more understanding and awareness and for them to be able to shift. And that's very valuable. But what you can't do is you can't do that next piece of um, suggesting um, ways forward or recommending a book or there's all sorts of things that can help somebody grow. Yeah. And I guess that's what I need, and that's what I've been searching for the last 6 months, really, is that growth and that when I sort of turn it in on myself, it's about when anybody recommends a book, I'm like, I straight on, I buy it, so it's I've got a pile to read. So it's kind of um, searching for wisdom, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I see that mirror really strongly. You started out with the counseling, and as you were doing that, you realized what you were missing was this expansive growth, forward movement, connecting other people, the stuff that lights you up and that gives you energy. And what it sounds like is there's something in there for your career going forwards. How do you now give that to other people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm,
beautiful.
thank
Thank
you.
you. I love that. I also love the way you said, and I know it's only just occurring to me now. And for me,
Yes.
that encapsulates the beauty of coaching. We go, yeah, it just occurred to me. Some
Yes.
something in the process gets unlocked.
Yes. Yeah. For
Magic.
sure. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mm.
Good. Who else would like to share? Abby.
Um, Thank you for that, Andrea. So much resonated with me. Um, where I was in November, I mean, it feels like a million years ago. That's life, though, isn't it? November, the me in November. I think I wasn't taking time out. The word growth, Andrea, kept sort of bouncing around in my head as well, and I haven't taken time out for myself for that for years, or just time out for me, however that looked. And I think I was in a very small, like quite stuck place that like physically felt very stuck, and had so much self-doubt. I'd look at what all these people were doing and just be like, I could never do that. And I think what these few months have given me with you all and with you, Sam, is, well, first of all, space. Again, Andrea, the word like softness. Thank goodness, because that in itself is a game changer, isn't it? Just being able to be soft with ourselves, with everything around us. But also a real belief. I mean, and it comes and goes. I think it's interesting, and I'm so grateful for these moments whilst I'm so busy, because I think the old stuff really starts to come back in when there's a lot going on. But there's this belief that I can grow grow my work how I want it to grow. Actually, even more than I want it to grow. Like I can believe that it can be global. It can happen across the world. I can believe that I can be the leader that makes that happen. And when I go really quietly, I do believe that. Then I get really busy and all the stuff comes back in and suddenly I don't believe it anymore in that moment. Um, but I think just having this space, even just now, I feel so much relief just being on here with you all, because I'm like, oh yes, hang on. I can find my feet. I can breathe into this. We're all in this together. Um, and I think and there is moments where I have to sort of take it on board, I said to you, Sam, not long ago, I want to be doing more speaking. I want to be on more panels, and since then I am being asked, without at this point putting myself out there yet. I have just recently done a keynote speaking evening, and I've got another one coming up and a panel that I've been asked to be on. So it is happening, and I think I need to take those moments to be like, it's happening, as opposed to be like, okay, I've done it, right, next thing. I think you're all teaching me like, just that's it, that's what this is, it's happening, and just believe it, just believe that it's happening. And I think it's just being kind to myself, that like, because I think what a word that always comes up for me is commitment. um and I know I wanted to commit time to myself every day, and then that I I know me, and I've suddenly got busy and I'm not doing that. And my initial first thing is to get really angry at myself for not giving myself that time. But actually I'm just not. I'm being like, I will get there. I will come. That commitment will come. It's there. I want it. But I'm not going to just give myself a hard time now because I haven't done it for the last few weeks. It's okay. It's okay. I think I have that, which is supporting me a lot more. than I think I would have before. I think I've just gone into a spiral of giving myself a hard time because I'm not committing and I'm not, and all of these things. So I just feel much more supported. I feel I'm supporting myself, but I feel this support that we have is such a foundation and a grounding. And to be on here with you all now, I breathe more, I'm immediately more grounded. And I know that's now going to set me up for, the next 2 weeks. So yeah.
What really landed for me was something you said in the middle there around, I made a commitment to making time for myself each day. And because I'm in such a busy work period, that's not happening. And the shift is that I'm not giving myself a hard time about that. I'm not spiraling about that. And what I get a sense of is that your way of being in the midst of the busyness has shifted. So the fact that the commitment to making time for yourself isn't happening at the moment is almost like a secondary effect. It sounds like there's something more integral in, yes, there are waves. Sometimes there's more space, sometimes there's less, sometimes work is more demanding and requires more. But it sounds like within that, you've got a different presence. And what I see is something that's a bit more still in the center of the storm around it.
Yeah. It does feel exactly like that. If I feel so different in this busy moment than I have in years gone by. And that in itself is a relief.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else from anyone?
I can share if you can hear me all right.
We can. And again, massive appreciation for your commitment to dialing in while commuting.
Of course. I think, yeah, like looking back, I was probably full of excuses. And like words that came up were like victim and fear and panic, even. And now, like, the shift is like everything's going to be okay. And like things are in motion, and where it's going, like things will work out. And all the seeds that I've been planting, like they will pop up. I don't know when, but they are popping up at different times now. And yeah, I think there's a little more or a lot more clarity as well. So I also feel myself, I'm saying no to many things. You're like, oh, let's do this, that. No, no, no. Even my friend saying for his wedding, one of my best friends. And I was like, I don't know if I can come. I will let you know later, but right now I don't know. Like I'm building my business. So, and it feels, before it would feel horrible saying no. And now it feels really good, like empowering. And definitely less people pleasing and more so
Oh, we lost you there, darling. The reception just went terrible. I think we might have lost your audio there.
but yeah, what everyone said really resonated with me. And yeah. Oh, sorry. But yeah,
That's
I was saying that
okay. I can hear
everything
you
that
again.
the others they said really resonated as well. Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Good. Ah, so I would love to know more about, she's gone. I'm sure she'll be back in a second. All right. I was going to get us into breakout rooms, but I think as we are a small group today, I think we'll just stay in the main room together. Now, before I tell you the question, I'm going to do a really mean thing and say, who wants to go first? Yes, I love that. Awesome. Okay. Andrea, if you could create a radical miracle, I've been thinking more about the Ultimate Coach book and some of the energy that I took from that and from Steve Hardison's work. And the idea of a radical miracle is something I associate with him and his being. So if you could create a radical miracle for yourself, an unreasonable, audacious, radical miracle, what might it be?
Comes to mind, and it might not seem that radical, but it feels pretty radical to me, is to firstly get clarity on what I'm doing and my messaging, and then do some public speaking on it and actually build if I'm going to go down the coaching route, which I've now booked and paid for my Mo coaching, which is great. So that starts on the 24th of April. And if that's the way I go, because I kind of feel like I need to get into it to see if it is really, but if it is, then to build a business around sharing some of the, I suppose, some of the wisdom that I feel I'm gathering, and supporting women. It's definitely around women. That feels like those rooms that I find myself in, and I seek out are rooms of women. So that seems to be my particular audience and that I want to work with. So the miracle is, I suppose the miracle is for me to stand up and give a keynote speech.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying. Terrifying. But I think there is so now there's a slightly more of a chance that it could happen. Whereas 6 months ago, really, I couldn't see how that could ever happen.
Well, this is very exciting indeed. And your joyful laughter is a very good sign that it is exactly the right audacious miracle.
A little bit of hysteria, possibly.
Yes, that's what we need.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Let's play with that. Do you want to play with that now?
Yeah, we can play with that.
Take me back to a time in your life when you didn't feel powerful, when you didn't feel connected, when you didn't feel heard or seen or understood. And I want you to tell me what changed. Because that's not who you are now, but it was once.
trying to find a particular point other than thinking about the public speaking thing, which is when back in my 20s, I did a course with the International Toastmistress group, and it was with all the other women were much older and in business and what have you. And then I wanted to try and find my voice, and I found it so difficult to um, yeah, to connect to myself, I think, and to have that confidence to. I certainly couldn't just stand up and speak from the heart. I had to have notes, and then that felt disjointed trying to remember my notes or try to, I had like cards with points on, and we tried all sorts of things, and it was just agonizing. I remember how difficult it was, and that lack of self-confidence and self-belief in my ability to do that, and not understanding why, I suppose, and being able to work with that. Although there was a supportive group, that there wasn't the psychology behind it to be able to say, okay, well, what's going on for you now? What's behind this? And I think I felt very exposed, and that people were looking at me, which felt very exposing and uncomfortable, and that I didn't have anything important to say or that anybody would be interested in it. Whereas I suppose having got to where I've got to so far, and obviously still on the journey, there is more of a belief or an understanding that actually I do know some stuff, and some of the things that I know are useful to other people as well, and that people would be interested to hear what I've got to say. So that's been a long, slow realization, really.
What helped you discover that you had something interesting to say that was valuable to other people?
I think having done the training I've done has helped me understand my own psychology and how we tend to function and how our brains function, and how, when you go into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, flop, that survival mode, I understand now that your frontal cortex switches off. And no wonder I was lost for words, because this wouldn't work anymore because I was in survival mode. Well, if somebody had told me that or explained that to me, I would have thought, oh, okay, I get that. So there's no point trying to think at the moment because you can't physically do it. Your brain won't work like that. So you've got to be able to calm that response first in order to then be able to calmly switch the front back on and deliver what you need to deliver. And I was just trying to battle through while I was in survival mode. And no wonder it didn't work, because the body doesn't work like that. The brain doesn't work like that. So nobody's does. So it's kind of the realization of that was really helpful. And then all the techniques around breath work, about using the body to, sort of affect the mind, do the power pose and all that sort of thing. And the things that I would employ, the breath work, the myriad of other things that you can putting cold on the back of your neck and all these sorts of things to calm the nervous system. I would employ all that sort of thing before I got up to speak now, in order to tame that down, calm that down, so this would switch back on again. So there's and that's helpful. And a lot of people don't know about that. And it's really useful information. And I was at a women's event on Monday, and there was a woman there called Jo Darby who specialises in presentation skills, speaking, public speaking, and that was really helpful. And I had a chat with her afterwards, and but she was saying, you've got some really interesting things to talk about, that things people would be interested to know about. And she hasn't got the psychology background that I've got. So I've actually got something that some other people haven't got, which actually is helpful. So I kind of, it's this idea of having something valuable to share, I think. Sorry, that's a very long-winded answer.
May I offer you a loving invitation slash challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Those networking events that you go to,
Yeah.
choose one that's coming up within the next month or 2 months if they are already full. Offer to come and give a demonstration to all of the women there on how they can retrain their brain, calm their central nervous system, and put the message that they have inside them out into the world. And the way that you will do that is by using no notes, by speaking from the heart, and by going through with them in real time, doing power pose, using the breath, using the body to affect the mind, explaining some of the background around the central nervous system and the different parts of the brain, and that you're going to get them practicing that in real time. And from that space, they get to turn to one other person in the room and share the message that's most important to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I think it needs to be demonstrated, doesn't it? It's not just theory. Because one of the things we did actually with this speaker, Jo Darby, she got us to do, she talked about Amy Cuddy and I've talked about it before, about the power pose and what have you, and she did talk about that. And then she got us to stand up against a wall as well, with our feet against the wall and our heads back against a wall. And then when we moved forward, we could feel how much we'd grown, how much straighter we were. Things like that, and how that affects how you feel, so she's done a little bit of that in that particular group, but there'll be other groups. There'll be other things I could do, but it didn't go into how the brain works. She didn't go into that depth. So it would build on that, possibly. It could build on what she's done. Okay. I can talk to them about that. I've already had the conversation at the end of that meeting. I did offer, but I was thinking about doing it with somebody else but I don't think I need to do it with somebody else, actually. I think I could do it.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Because what I just heard then was a beautiful story. A woman standing up on stage and saying, I tried to do this once before and I was a mess and I was shaking and I had notes and I was distracted and I was intimidated by a room full of older, powerful business women. And I didn't even know who I was, let alone what I had to say.
Yeah.
Now I'm here. And I have to tell you right now, there's a little bit of excitement and a bit of nervousness, but I feel clear and I feel strong.
Yeah.
And that's an incredible shift that you get to model in real time for other women.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels more doable now. Yes. Lovely. Thank you.
Very good. Please let us know when you have got your audacious miracle booked in.
I will. Thank you. There's something, not this second, it might come up throughout this session. There is something else I wanted to cover, but if we don't get to it this session, perhaps we could talk offline anyway about something else I need to talk about getting some clarity. But
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited. Terrified, but excited.
Good combination.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Abby and Sophie, who wants to play next? Abby. So you have had the unfair advantage of a bit of time to digest
Yeah.
this.
Well, no, it's okay. Something came straight into my head.
Brilliant.
And I haven't thought about it too much because obviously, Andrew, I was just enjoying that powerful moment. And I was thinking how much I would like to come to that talk when you do it, because it's so needed, that understanding of the brain and what yeah, amazing. The first thing that popped into my head, radical miracle, was that I have been able to create, when you think of global brands, I think of, like, Nike, I think of the big sport brands, I think of the tech brand, tech people, that's a whole other thing. The radical miracle is that these festivals become a global brand on that scale, but obviously it's 100% for good, especially if you look at the tech brands. But at the same time, when I think that, I think, but I also have a work-life balance. I'm still very much present with my family. That's my radical miracle.
Write that one down. 100% for good.
Yeah. Not like necessarily not 100% non-profit, as in everything this brand does is for good. So if I think about, and I know I've mentioned this before, right now we're like a volunteer-led organization. So all the women, because it is majoritively women who help us, it's all on a volunteer basis. That doesn't happen anymore. Every single woman or every single person who's is getting properly paid to do it. You know what I mean? So it's impacting on every level.
Mm. So this is a global brand.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
as familiar in everybody's mind as Nike or Adidas or the big tech companies. Everybody goes, Festival of the Girl, 100% for the good. Yep, da 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 da. It just trips off the tongue.
Yeah.
And that this grows whilst you maintain balance at home.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's a bit crazy, but yeah. I don't really know what it looks like. I don't know what that looks like, though, because I don't. Is there, obviously you can look at UNICEF. I try and think who are the big, who does everyone know? So there's UNICEF, but then I don't necessarily want to be a charity. That's the other thing. I want it to be a brand. What brand is, obviously your big brands do stuff for good. Don't, like Nike and they'll have their foundations and things. But is there a brand that is it's a social enterprise that's that global? I don't know. Is there? I can't think of one off the top of my head. So it feels a bit like I'm not sure what it looks like. This looks like.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, what occurs to me is if no one's done it before, you get to make up the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
I think I was just thinking then, obviously, of Michelle Obama, my best mate, because obviously she's got the Global Girls Alliance, but again, I don't. Obviously, I know that very well because it's in my field, but I don't. Oh, and then there's the girl. Yeah, I keep thinking, but it's not that. Because also we'll be doing festivals for boys as well, so it's all children, it's all families. I don't know. It feels like you say, it's sort of everyone knows of it, as kids, as families have children. I don't know. I don't really know what it looks like.
Tell me why these festivals are so important.
Because so with the girls, it is that it's creating a safe space where they can be themselves. So then it's not another day at school. And I think in our curriculum in schools in the UK, it's very easy to get labeled and pigeonholed. You break free of that. That isn't what happens at the festival because it's not another day at school. It's a space where they can try anything, they can see other girls trying anything, and there's no judgment of who they are. They can be anyone they want to be. And they are surrounded by women in roles they wouldn't normally see. So it's breaking down these limiting gender stereotypes because they're saying, oh, wait, that woman, and that person looks like me. But at the same time, for the majority of girls that come, their parents and carers come with them. And that's really where the shift happens because it changes what they think of their daughter or what they view for their daughter, or they become aware of their limiting beliefs. And so it can begin to change the conversations at home around the parents, because of these gender stereotypes, the limiting beliefs that they might have had for themselves and therefore then for their kids. So it just begins to create a space where these girls can be in all these different places where they need to be. When you look at, especially when I look at where the world is right now, that is men leading us where we're going, and it's not going well, and women need to be there. Yeah. And then for the boys, obviously this is the beginning of this journey. It's doing that as well, but it's allowing for a space for boys to move away from this need to be, well, boys, research shows young boys don't even know what masculinity is. But if we look at the masculinity that's being shown to them by so many of the leaders right now, this is to say that isn't what it is. It is connecting with your emotional self. It is being a carer at home. It is, but and again, it's breaking down those limiting beliefs for the kids and for their parents, which I think is almost harder for when it comes to boys' parents than it is for girls' parents. So yeah, that.
Mhm. So your global brand of children's festivals creates a space where it's safe for you to be yourself, where you break free of the box. It's not just another day at school. You can try anything with no judgment. And you get to say to the parents, have you ever seen this version of your daughter? Did you know your son had this in him too? You get to surprise the parents and carers too.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's stopping you?
I think I'm probably at the forefront of that because and I've noticed it more again these last couple of weeks because I've gotten busy. So I think therefore the old patterns, the old language has come back in where because to do this we need money. At the end of the day, like we have to have that funding to be able to do it. So right now we've gone from one festival last year to 3 this year, but it's still the same team, it's still the same amount of people doing it, and it's still majoritively doing it for free. And that's just not sustainable, obviously. And I think I suddenly go to, oh, I just don't think I can do it. I don't think we can do it. And I know this pattern very well. So it's me that's getting in the way because I'll come off our calls, I'll come off having read one of the books we've talked about or done some homework, and I think, yeah, we can, right? And I need to break free of this because that's when I see the miracles or that's when I see the opportunities. But when I get stuck, I don't see them. I sort of become blinkered. Um, sorry, my neighbor. I sort of become blinkered and I don't believe we can do it. I don't believe it. I think this is my main well, and also obviously we need loads of money, but I feel like until I believe we can do it, I won't go out and find that resource.
Mhm. How
Yeah.
did you go from 1 to 3? How did that happen?
Because I made it happen. We found a partner in Newcastle, so I was able to push for that, and I have pushed for Festival of the Boy and found a venue. Yeah, because of me. That's how it's happened.
Found a partner and you found a venue. Mhm.
Yeah.
In the first stage of your festival becoming a global brand,
Mhm.
who would you like to be your partner?
Michelle Obama.
Awesome. And where would you like to be your venue?
So I'd like it to be in Chicago. And the reason I say that is because having looked at the work they do, she's very much connecting with organizations all over, but has a real heart for Chicago. And so for me, it would be like, well, look what our festivals are doing here. Let's bring it and do it in Chicago. It feels like an easier step in a way because she gets what we're doing, and we can go to her hometown to do it. That would be that feels easier. But at the same time, we've had someone connected to us who's based in Africa, and really loves what we're doing, and that's a conversation to have as well. So there's also sort of, I feel quite open to how it could happen. But yeah, I guess the dream's probably Michelle Obama, just because she gets it and she would really raise the platform of it.
Who else do you know in Chicago?
No one. Do I? Am I to live in America? Maybe no, I know. I don't know if she's based in Chicago, or she might be in Boston. So I don't know if I know anyone in Chicago. I don't think I do.
And who do you know in the States?
I've got a few friends, about 4 or 5 people I know there from when I lived there.
Do any of them know about this vision?
One of them does. He's in LA. And I did chat to him maybe at the end of last year. And I think he'd be really up for helping. But at that point, we sort of didn't really know what it looked like. But he's quite big in the sort of film industry. I think if I potentially came to him with a proposal of like, this is what I'm thinking, and I've got friends who live in LA. I mean, I've got other friends in other parts. There's another one. Yeah, I know a few people in the US that I could reach out to from my time there that I think would be up for helping.
You know the theory of 7 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
I bet you from one of them, you'll get a really great venue and a link to someone who's close to Michelle.
Okay.
How's it going with contacting Michelle?
I may have paused, as in I just sort of stopped. I say pause, I just stopped. But not, she may have fallen, as much as I love her, she may have fallen out of my mind because I got all focused on what's happening in this moment. So I need to jump back on that. Yeah, I'll keep trying. Yeah.
Who else apart from Michelle might there be?
I think the first person who popped into my head, I can't remember her second name, but she was the president. She was the president, the right word for New Zealand? But it was Jacinda. I can't remember her surname, but you know who I mean. She would be someone I think could potentially help make it happen. I'm trying to think of people that are in sort of different countries that are doing that. I feel like they've got a bit of weight, but they also feel like they would understand what it is we're trying what it is we're trying to do. I could think of, I don't know.
So putting aside the busyness of what you're doing at the moment, that
Mhm.
requires a lot of focus and a lot of energy. If we imagine that that is over here and it's compartmentalized and taken care of,
Yeah.
and what you have here is limitless space and the
Yes.
quantum field of possibilities.
Yeah.
What is one bold, audacious action you
Mhm.
might take to bring you closer to Michelle, Jacinta, or Chicago?
I would draft an email that tries to sort of put into words that, right, this is what we've done, but we believe, the plan is to, or we want to make sure kids all over the world have access to it. So create what I feel like is quite a powerful, brief-ish email, and then just send it to my friends in the US. I mean, I could again try and send it to Michelle, Jacinda, other people like that. Just start sending it. And whenever anyone pops into my head, I know I've got this email and I can just send it to them. Yeah, just do it. Just start reaching out.
There's something more bold and more audacious.
Okay. Oh God.
The email you can do. All you
Yeah.
need is an hour or two of focus time with your computer. You can do that.
Yeah.
Pressing send, you can press send.
From the safety of my laptop.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What's more bold and more audacious?
Is it trying to phone call people? Oh God, I know. I don't know. I just know. Oh, yeah. Okay. I could do that. Yeah. Okay.
Your power is
Yeah.
as a speaker.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you tell your story and you talk about the festival,
Mm-hmm.
win over hearts and minds easily. An email doesn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many speaking events have you got lined up?
I've got 2 lined up and 1 panel so far.
What if you put out a call to action? May or
Yeah.
may not be appropriate in those contexts. But if
Mm-hmm.
you started saying in the public space, I'm on a mission to make this a global brand. I'm on a mission to work with Michelle Obama in Chicago, this time in 1 year, this time in 2 years, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Who here can help me? Who here knows someone who could point me in the right direction?
Yeah.
I believe there's someone in this room who can help make this happen.
Yeah. I can do that. I do feel like I can do that.
I put it to you, it will come through conversations. It
Yeah.
won't come through an email.
Yeah. And I know that. I look at everything that's happened so far with the festival. It's all been who we've known or then who they've put us in touch with. And yeah. Yeah.
And you're right, this is such an important time for it.
Yeah.
If we ever needed to raise children who know themselves, who trust themselves, who are going to go out and be fearless ambassadors for 100% good in the world, then God, we need that now.
Yeah.
And I imagine just about everyone on the planet would do anything they could to help make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can do it.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Incredible women. Where are we at? Who wants to check in or share?
Can I just throw in a couple of things on that occurred to me, Abby? I don't know whether this is helpful. But I found when I was in a charity, I found that when you've got something like the event that you've got, or events coming up, you've got the opportunity to offer invitations because you've got something to invite somebody to. And um, so a personal invitation, I mean, a handwritten letter is far more effective than an email, or even a little video or something like a video invitation. But that what you were saying about you're on a mission, Sam, to work with Michelle Obama and make this a global brand. If you could put that into a video and post that and tag her in, it might get to her. She might see it, and it's that, and then she knows who you are and she can see your face and she can see your passion and all that. That might work. Just an idea. It's an opportunity, though. Sorry, you're on mute, but it's an opportunity you've got whilst you've got the festivals coming up
Yeah.
to offer the invitation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. Thanks, Andrea. I love the handwritten letter as well.
Handwritten letters are lovely. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think a video with you saying it would be great. And you
Yeah.
just put it out there to the world, and but
Yeah.
you could actually be speaking to Michelle on that. That would be really, instead of trying to speak to the world, just say this is a video and for Michelle Obama, and Michelle, I need you. Yeah. Or I
Love
don't know
that.
what your messaging is, but yeah, talk to her directly.
Okay. Yeah, I love it.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Andrea.
You need to have ideas for other people, isn't it?
Thank you.
Okay.
Good. Good. Sophie, how are you doing? I know you may not be able to come on camera right now. I want to check in and see where you're at too.
I'm here listening. I'm very much with you all. Um, wow, I'm very excited for you, Abby. I actually, yeah, I just sent a message to you separately about an idea I have for you about like a network of powerful women. Many of them are in New York as well. And I know someone who knows someone. And I could maybe get you in there. There's thousands of women. So if you maybe just get that one point, then that can like disperse and like increase the probability of accelerating the work with Michelle.
Amazing. Incredible
Yeah.
women you are. Good.
Mm.
And Sophie, I don't know if you are able to talk right now or if you're better off being a witness.
I might just stay a witness just because there's just many ears.
Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for being and listening and holding and witnessing.
Thank you for everyone sharing. I feel my cup is full.
Excellent.
Mm.
Good. Then, Andrea, I want to pass over to you. You mentioned there's something that you want to get clarity on.
Yes. So I've got in a bit of a muddle, I think, and I need some clarity because I've gone round in a few circles and now I'm in a muddle. Trying to explain. I bought the domain of Darlington Counselling Darlington-counselling.co.uk, thinking that I wanted my counselling practice to be based around here where I live, because I do face-to-face counselling mostly. And then I've thought about the coaching, which as I've said, I've got some training to do in that, so I'm not there yet with offering that. Then I was talking to some women yesterday at an event where we were holding space for each other for 10 minutes, and they said, well, the therapeutic coaching, so if you're combining the two, gives you some sort of unique selling point. My question is, I suppose, around, do I, and I don't know what the answer is. So do I offer counselling and have a website for counselling? And do I offer coaching separately and keep it completely separate? There's questions around governance with the UKCP, who I'm under for counselling, and my supervision, which is for my counselling practice. So I don't know how that would work. So there's questions around this. Or once I'm qualified, because it's not regulated as an industry, I can probably call it what I like, actually. But I do have to still have regular supervision and sit within the UKCP. Well, I don't have to, but I would want to, because that's important. So I'm now at a point where I don't know whether to have two strands to the business or combine the two. I think that's the question I've got. Yeah. I don't know the way forward, really.
Can I share something I learned from Rich Litvin? The only thing anybody wants to know is, can you help me?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you help me?
And it really doesn't matter what names or words you throw into the mix there. That's of interest to you in your mind to formulate and structure, what am I doing? What is my service? For the person sitting in front of you, the only thing they want to know is, can you help me? And what I see is that it's you, and it's all of you. It's you who's got the counseling skills. It's you who's engaging in coaching. It's you who's constantly growing, exploring, committed to being of service in this world, playing with different tools. There are a million counselors, there are a million coaches. It's going to be about you. So one possible offering is that you're the center of your business.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
What's coming up for you?
Well, I've got andreasutton.co.uk. So I've which is about to expire. I need to sort something about that, something with that. But I didn't know whether to do something with that. But that kind of answers that question, because if that is my brand, then I can, under that, I can structure it how I like. I can have an offering on counselling, I can have an offering on coaching, I can have an offering on therapeutic coaching. I can clarify all three if I want to offer all three. That might be less messy. It's the structure, you're right. That's why I've got in a muddle, because of the structure of it, and I need to get structure clear in my head. But it's how that will be perceived by the person. And so when I meet somebody, it would be about me and what I'm offering. And then they can read more about the different offerings, I guess. So if someone just wanted to come and just talk about coaching and just wanted that's fine. Or they just wanted to talk about their childhood and what happened and why they feel like they do, that's also fine. Yeah, that helps. I think that's the way forward, actually. That makes total sense. I was trying to fit it into something I'd already sort of started, and it wasn't fitting. Yeah. So rather than go forward with the Darlington counselling, I think I'll let that go. I think I'll go with my name, and then I can sit under that whatever I decide to do. So there might be um an offering for speaking as well. Who knows, one day. Yeah.
Which day?
One day.
Which one?
Each day.
Good, just checking.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I did look at people like Karen Davis's website and people like that who had obviously she just uses her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
And keeps it quite clean and simple. Yeah.
One of a coach who I really resonate with is called Trevor Timbeck. He's doing a workshop with Steve Chandler at the moment around the power of systems. And on his website, he has 4 of his favorite quotes and a contact me email. That's it.
Okay, I'll have a look at his website. Yeah.
He is an enormously successful, high profile coach, a leadership coach.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you may want to consider is this may or may not be true for counseling, it's certainly true for coaching, all people who will work with you as a coach, that relationship will come through being in a conversation with them.
Yeah.
It won't come through reading your website. So the only purpose of the website is to encourage someone to book in a call with you. Yeah. So you may not even need much information on there. It may be as simple as, I'm a licensed counselor, I'm a registered coach, and when we talk, we'll explore what's right for you. And it may be that we start with counseling and move into coaching. It may be that it changes session by session, depending on how you're showing up and what you need. We can do whatever you need in each phone call. And that gives you ultimate flexibility, and it gives you ultimate service to respond to what the person in front of you really needs at that moment.
Oh, good. Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's great. That's clarified that for me. That would have taken weeks.
Yes. Our brains, it's incredible. Another nice bit of neuroscience. Our brains function better when we are in conversation with and being heard by another human being.
Yes.
Nothing else replaces that, not even AI at its best.
No. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. That's great.
Good. Right. Before we round up for today, is there anything that anyone wants to share? Anything that's coming up for you that you want to share or ask or reflect on? Yes.
I think the thing what I'm going to take most from today is I don't think I've sort of ever really thought about it. Obviously, to some level, I've known that, but the power is in the conversation. And I think I'm very good at, I think because I'm not the most sort of extroverted person, I do like being on my own, and being behind a laptop feels quite safe. I think I forget that. I forget the power of it. And I think this is just a reminder that however that looks, I need to just be out there talking about it more. And that's where it's going to come from. It's not going to come from anything else. And in a way, that's quite a relief to know that if I just keep talking about it to whoever will listen, and listen to them at the same time, obviously. So thank you. I think I needed that. So thank you all.
Beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else want to share an insight, a reflection, a question?
Yeah, I also wanted to share that I think the power of the group is really important because
Stay safe.
yeah, that like seeing everything that you're both doing, it's like wildly inspiring. Um, and I see your like the paths really, really clearly. And I also then see myself like in both of you when I see those doubts or the moments of like lack of clarity or confidence. And then yeah, I turn that on myself. And I sometimes try to see myself through your eyes. And I hope that, yeah, and that's, I think the group dynamic is also really, really powerful in this way and really, yeah, opens up possibility. Like, I feel like that's, thank you.
Thank you, lovely. Good. Anything else from anyone? Okay. Then I would like to say a few words to close us in this session. And the first thing I want to say is just how grateful I am and how appreciative I am of the 4 months that we've had together. It's extraordinary to me when I think about where I was at 4 months ago. And now it feels completely normal. It's like, yeah, I meet with incredible women every week. Yeah, I have the honor of being their coach. And it's become a beautiful, normal part of my life, rather than at the beginning when I couldn't quite imagine, is this even possible? And you've made it possible. And I set out with a very clear intention that I would only spend time with women who inspired me, who I admired and respected and loved deeply. And that's you. So to you and to Bianca and to Helena and Natalie, who aren't here today, thank you for being here with me each week. It's incredible. I decided a long time ago, I've never had an existential crisis because I knew from the beginning the purpose, as far as I can see, of any human being on the planet is to give and receive love and to rediscover that we're capable of creating extraordinary miracles. And that's it. It was always very clear. And being here with you is a way that I get to give and receive love and remember our power to create extraordinary miracles. So you give me the possibility to live out my purpose, which is an astonishing gift. And I mentioned this a few weeks ago that I consider you all to be ambassadors of exactly that, of connection and service and love. And I realized as I was thinking about today that I put that upon you. So by the way, don't know if you know, you're ambassadors of service, connection, and love. And so I think what I would love for you to take away from today and from the last 4 months is to sit with that as a possibility and see if it fits. See if your cells might want to sit with that and absorb it. And perhaps that might be another layer in your beingness. An ambassador of service, connection, and love. What would it be like if that was really embodied and owned in you? And if you would like to embody that and own it at the level of your cells, then one parting invitation I would like to give you is to keep choosing connection on a very practical day-by-day level. If someone serves you a coffee, or someone's driving the bus, Make eye contact. Smile. Keep your energy field open. Because I put it to you that every atrocity and horror in the world comes from disconnection. We get to change that every single day by choosing connection over fear. And it won't always be met with wide open loveliness. It will sometimes be met with hostility, fear, and shutdown. And that's the bit we can't control. The only bit we can control is that we keep choosing to show up in practical, everyday ways with connection over fear. So that's my closing invitation to you to take away. On the coaching intensive in September, we're going to do a bit more around energy field opening and closing. We're going to be working with copper rods so that you can see a visual example of your power when you open your energy field, what impact that has. The rods open, and when you close it, they close and cross over. It's a remarkable visual game to play. And for me, I play with that now day by day in opening my energy field and noticing what happens in the people around me and what happens when I close it down. So we'll be playing a bit with that at the intensive in September. For Sophie and for Helena, when she sees this, I want to say that what we have is connection, and that all of life is connection on a very, very simple level. You know that saying of when a butterfly flaps its wings in Japan, a hurricane happens on the other side of the world. And what I see is that through the last 4 months we've spent together, hundreds of possibilities have rippled out for each of us that wouldn't have been there otherwise. And now our trajectories are going in slightly different directions. But what doesn't change is the strength of that connection. We're in each other's lives always now. What's done cannot be undone. Thank you, Sophie. So I want to honor and thank Sophie and Helena for that. And for those of you going forwards into the 1-year program, I am excited to say that we are going to be playing with your life and the different threads that have come together to where you are now. So I'll be sending you a link to book in a one-to-one conversation before we start the 1-year program on I think it's the 9th of April at 9:40 my time. And in that, we will be exploring those threads that bring you to where you are now. And we'll be looking at how that might carry through into the mastermind groups. Who are you? What are the different skills and experiences and beingness that you have brought together over the last 40, 50 years? And how might that transfer into the mastermind group? And how might that give you a really solid platform to stand on in all that you do and all who you are going forwards from here? Again, we're doing more work on that in the September intensive, but we're going to be starting it in preparation for the 1-year program. It's going to be fun. So I think that's all. Yeah. I can't wait to be with you all again, whether that's on the 9th of April or separately, and sending you all my love. Thank you.